tonight on Channel 5.
So it is illegal to sell your body for money. That is false.
There you go. Welcome back. You're watching Wednesday's Right Stuff live on Channel 5, of course, with Alexis Conran, Penny Smith and Ray Mears. We'll bring you all the other headlines shortly. First, though, love your thoughts on something we talked about briefly yesterday. I want to know if you think Britain's first official red light district is up in Leeds is good news, whether it be good news for sex workers, their clients, and council taxpayers, or maybe you think it's anything but. 027 173 5555, the number again. It's all come to pass after a year-long trial in Holbeck. It's an industrial area of Leeds. Yesterday designated
it's getting a massive regeneration.
Prostitution in the UK. In practice, what does this mean? Well, the police are still going to be there, they say, but only to keep an eye out for trouble.
Somebody died.
Will be allowed to ply their trade from
Somebody
7
got
at night
murdered
to 7 in the morning.
about 2 weeks ago.
Can go looking for action without fear of arrest for curb crawling. Now, while many people may think this is a step in the right direction for the world's oldest profession, the Daily Mirror tells sort of two different stories. First, a fella who unwittingly bought a building in the zone in Leeds. He says the area is now littered with condoms and drug paraphernalia. He says how he's witnessed sex acts close to his premises. And he takes the view that all Prod has done is move the sex trade from residential streets nearby to a commercial area so that people stop complaining about it. This chap feels we'd all be better off if we copied Amsterdam and had state-run sex zones. Then there's the view of Carrie Mitchell from the pressure group The English Collective of Prostitutes, and she isn't happy either. While she sees Holbeck as a small step in the right direction, she worries the zone is just an excuse, again, for the police to wash their hands of the whole issue. She believes the answer is to legalise the sex trade, as they've done in New Zealand. It's worth saying that the pilot scheme, the trial period up in Holbeck, wasn't without incident. A 21-year-old sex worker was murdered within the safe zone just 3 weeks ago. Leeds Councillor Mark Dobson accepts this managed area isn't a universal cure-all and that sex work remains a dangerous trade. He's called the zone a pragmatic approach. Is it a step in the right direction, Alexis?
I think it is a step in the right direction, but
unless you had a business.
I would agree with the first chap that you mentioned from the Mirror, was it?
Yeah.
I think it doesn't go far enough. I think that prostitution's not going to go away. And to use their old cliche, the oldest profession. It's a business worth 5.6 billion. I really don't understand why we haven't gone down the New Zealand route of legalising it and the Dutch and German route. There are red light districts in Hamburg, there's red light districts in pretty much every city in Holland. It can be regulated, people can be protected, we can protect against human trafficking.
Well, as I said yesterday, there's still trafficking in Amsterdam, there's still trafficking in Hamburg, that hard drug-using prostitutes aren't welcome in the state-controlled brothels, so they're out on the streets still. So the problem hasn't gone away.
No, but we still have trafficking now, but there's nothing that we're doing about it. So we'll get a step closer to be able to regulate it, to actually protect people working within the sex industry.
The chap in Holbeck, he suggests, rather than corner off a section of an industrial estate, why doesn't the council put up a car park, like say a multi-storey car park by day, sex zone at night?
Well, to me that sounds like, again, you're sort of sweeping it under the carpet.
Why not the chap's work, his staff coming and going from work, the women don't get, oh, I love you up for it, and the men don't get sort of evil eyes.
I agree that I think what's happened here, this solution was what the councillor was saying, a sort of a temporary fix or a sort of a pragmatic solution, I think he's called it. I think that's why I'm thinking that the way forward is to have a designated specific area, that therefore someone's not going to accidentally buy a house and all of a sudden go, hang on a minute, what's happening here, or my business is in the middle of the red light district.
Well, that's exactly what happened to this chap here.
Exactly, but if it was the other way around, if we decided to legalise it, make designated specific areas like they have in Amsterdam with the windows and the streets and all that kind of stuff, I think it'll be better regulated, and also it's an industry that's got money to contribute to tax.
Actually, the car park idea, I do think is a good idea. And then you have to look at the other side of this, and when people sneer at prostitution...
We don't need more car parks.
You have to bear in mind 1 in 10.
Too expensive as it is in Leeds City Centre
says
at
that
the
they're
minute.
paid for sex. 1 in 10. Now that means that of those
Too many
1 in
car
10,
parks in the centre,
I'm
to be
assuming
honest.
there are
Should
a
be all
number of
built up.
those who have also got partners.
It's like a wasteland
And,
anyway.
You know, you want to make sure that their partners are safe from, for example, sexually transmitted diseases or anything else that might, you know, whatever. And so at least if you control something, then you have more of a handle on it. The other thing I come back to, which I said yesterday, which is this 95% of street prostitutes are problematic drug users, and surely that is also something we need to address. If we can try and get that sorted out, then who knows? I mean, if you read that 50% of women who are prostitutes in the UK started being paid for sex acts before they were 18. And there's another thing. Surely we should be looking out for these youngsters before you're 18. I mean, I'm trying to think back to before I was 18.
Well,
This is a rebel without a clue. That was me.
I think, if I'm honest, people in Leeds would be disgusted that there's even a red light district in Leeds now. It's absolutely disgusting.
They're struggling to deal with burglaries and
We wouldn't accept it. None of my family would accept it. Grandparents, great-grandparents have all come from Leeds.
Sort of wash their hands of the whole thing.
I think they're obviously struggling
It's
to deal
absolutely
with an
disgusting.
incredibly complex problem on limited resources.
But
I
it's
agree
just
with
the world
Penny.
we live in,
I
I'm
think it'd be
afraid.
much better if these things were regulated, both for the general population and a health point of view,
So regular health
but
checks
also
for
for the
sex
workers in that industry. And certainly there is tax to be gathered there as well. So I think that would be much better if it was regulated. And I think it would make the police's job a lot simpler because it would be black and white,
Do you
wouldn't it?
think this is a step towards that?
I think this is a police force trying to encourage a move in that direction.
Yeah.
Well, certainly to encourage a debate, more of a
Yes,
debate
yeah.
about it.
Well, what is holding us up? I mean, why? Because when you read the law on it, it's sort of quite murky. It's not
Yes.
illegal,
So
but it's
complicated.
illegal to.
Well, I would imagine it's the same one that the politicians have, the same problem the politicians have with, say, drug use, that, you know, they're quite happy to watch 100,000 people die as a result of alcohol and cigarettes, which they tax to every penny they can get from it, billions and billions of pounds. But the notion of legalising drugs, being the government that says, yeah, get high, you know, that they don't want that responsibility. They're the same thing. Oh yeah, legalise sex. Everyone can sell sex if they want to. That I think is, you know, by nature.
But do you think it's a moral issue that they have?
I think it's a fear issue.
Because
Actually,
you know,
Financial
it's
issue,
the same-
isn't it?
the nettle.
It's the same with the gambling industry, which we've talked about. You know, it is regulated and it's taxed, and it brings a lot of money in. And it has helped to have a lot more regulation on it because of the amount of people that it affects through people with gambling.
It's interesting that the
It's the same
super
thing.
casinos are all put in some of the most socially deprived areas of our cities, and you can't help wondering if that's the direction we went with gambling. If we did have legal red light zones all over the country, are they going to be in the posh parts of town, or will they be put in the poorer parts of town?
It was funny because when we were talking about that, I was just thinking, hold on a second, but where would you want that multi-storey car park? Would you want to be in any of the roads leading up to the multi-storey car
But
park?
again,
'Cause
look
that's
at
the other
Amsterdam. You know, one of Amsterdam's red light districts is right in the centre. It's
Yeah.
right in
Yes, it is.
the jewel of
And
the
it's
city,
filled,
as it's
filled
called.
by and large with British people wandering around, from what I can recall. Before I was looking. Anyway, great points from you guys. After the break, it's your turn. I just want to know if you feel Britain's first official red light district in Leeds is good news or anything, but maybe a step in the right direction. 0207 173 5555, and I'll get your calls up.
Thanks for
Which of
watching.
these countries have legal red light districts? Canada, Austria, or Germany? Find out after the break.
I think it's Canada. Bye.